Welcome back to another video on the law of attraction. Now, in today's video, I want to discuss something that's very interesting, which is health. So I'm going to talk to the majority of people that are struggling with their health or their weight. We want to manifest a healthy lifestyle or a healthy body for that matter. Nobody really wants to live a healthy lifestyle just for the sake of it, or very few people out of the billions of people out there. Most people want to just look great. They want to look their best, right? And we all know that that goes hand in hand with obviously a healthy lifestyle. So I want to discuss how you can manifest, using the law of attraction, a healthy lifestyle, and then subsequently a healthy life and a healthy body. So I mean, if it was that easy, we all know, and I always say this, that if it was that easy to just manifest, sit back and manifest something, we wouldn't have poverty, we wouldn't have unhappy people or unhealthy people, we wouldn't have overweight people. So it's not that easy, right? You need to know exactly what's happening. You need to know how. The how is so important, because a lot of people will watch a bunch of videos on manifestation where it says you need to have a vision board and visualize every single day for about an hour, and then your life will magically manifest into the thing that you want. Now, we all know that's a load of crap. It doesn't work that way. Yet manifestation is real. Manifestation is absolutely real. And without manifestation, without applying your mind, you are most probably not going to reach your goals. So that's how the majority of people that, well, every single person that's ever reached their goal, that's how they did it, by basically visualizing, manifesting the end goal and then working towards that. Changing the mind, believing that they can have it, and then moving slowly but surely to reach that goal. So when it comes to health and weight loss, so unfortunately, I'm going to talk about fat, being overweight. If there are any people that are sensitive to this, then obviously this video is not for you. But I want you to put your ego aside for a bit if you are struggling with your weight. I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not trying to be nasty or rude to anybody. I'm not judging anybody. In fact, I can tell you that it's understandable. I understand why people are unhealthy and overweight. It's not that easy. I mean, nobody chooses to be overweight. Nobody will choose that by choice, unless you're a sumo wrestler or something. But it's extremely hard, and it's an addiction. It's how the body and the mind work together in order to get you, or that basically got you to the place where you are right now. But just visualizing is not going to work. So if you've tried the visualization process because you've seen it somewhere else, somebody talk about you need to visualize. Maybe you've cut out the body of a supermodel and stuck your head to that body and stuck it on a vision board and visualized that and looked at it every day and nothing happened. There's a good reason for that, because that's not the way to go. What you need to understand about the body, we all know that calories in, or calorie in, calorie out, right? We all know that the body is a machine that needs fuel, and if you overfeed, it's going to store that as fat, right? So in other words, if you are overweighting, it simply means that your body has more reserves than what is necessary according to your level of activity. So it's super simple. But the reason why you are overweight, the reason why you are consuming more calories, more food than what is necessary, that's the difficult part. That's a deeply rooted problem that we need to address and that you need to change in order to manifest the type of body that you want. So first of all, we need to understand why this is happening. So for a lot of people have all kinds of reasons. Well, I overeat because of this and that, but it all comes down to the simple mechanics of the mind and the body. So first of all, you need to understand that any food that we consume releases dopamine, or certain food types more than others. Now, how our bodies work is that we need a constant fix of dopamine. That's why we have it, that's why we need it. And the body has basically, or the mind has basically learned where to find it the easiest, the quickest, easiest way possible. That's why any drug that releases dopamine or activates the release of dopamine is highly addictive. The reason why is the body craves dopamine, but it's not easy to get. In fact, you actually need to work very hard. You need to set goals and wait a long period of time. If you are somebody that obviously doesn't use drugs, then in order to get that dopamine fix, which the body desperately need and want at all times, it will always look for the easiest, simplest, quickest, fastest route to get that dopamine. Now, in order to get that, if you take away any modern vices like food, the readily available food and sugars and social media and friendships and music and all of those things, anything that makes you feel good releases dopamine. If you take away all of that, in order to get dopamine, the right amount of dopamine, it's actually going to be extremely hard. And the way we can get it then is by setting a goal and then working towards it and reaching that goal. So dopamine is the driver that basically says to your mind, listen, okay, I know where to get it if I reach that goal. So let's say you want to start a business. Let's say you take about all the other vices that will activate that dopamine. And you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to start a business. It's going to probably take me about a year to start that business and to actually reach that goal. The seeking of dopamine is what's going to drive you every day getting up and working on that business model or that business idea so that you can reach that goal and then get that release of dopamine, of that the feeling of accomplishment when you get there. But in modern times, we have all of these vices. We've got vapes and cigarettes and drugs and porn and social media and friends and food, obviously, and sugars and all of those things. So it knows it doesn't need to work hard. It only needs to go online or go to the store and buy some food that it knows will release that dopamine. Your mind subconsciously also know that a piece of steak will not release as much dopamine as a muffin or a chocolate. And that's why it knows exactly what to tell your body to crave, so that you can go out, buy that, eat that, consume that, and then get that dopamine release. And then once it gets that, it's already basically searching for the next dopamine fix. And that's why you keep on going over and over and over again. So we need to realize that eating is an addiction. It's an absolute addiction. There's no difference. How the mind works, how the dopamine, the brain works, there's absolutely no difference between a drug addiction that releases dopamine and consuming food, or consuming, even listening to music, because music makes you feel good. So you know that I'm going to feel a certain emotion when I listen to a certain song. And I mean, I know this because it happens to me. I love music. I happen to love music. So I can listen to music for 3 hours at a time, every single day. But that keeps me from working. It keeps me from doing the things that I need to do. It keeps me from going to bed early so that I can be rested for the next day of work. So I need to limit that. I need to consciously fight the urge to listen to music. It sounds so simple, but it's an absolute fact. And there's no difference between listening to music or consuming any other thing that's easy and accessible, and that makes you feel good. So food is no different. Food is an absolute drug addiction. But here's the problem. If somebody's, for argument's sake, let's say somebody's an alcoholic and they abstain, they quit drinking. That's easy because you can forever quit drinking. Basically, you don't need to face that ever again. But when it comes to food, unfortunately, you cannot stop eating altogether. You are going to be faced with buying food, consuming and eating food, because your body needs that. And because it's so readily available, all of the unhealthy foods, it's so difficult because you still need to, if an alcoholic quits drinking, he or she does not need to go into a liquor store ever again. but you need to go in the grocery store to buy food. You need to go in there, so you are going to be surrounded. So it's just something to bear in mind, so that you know why it is so difficult. Because it's an absolute addiction that you have to face and confront and overcome every single day for the rest of your life. It's not that easy. In fact, it makes it so much harder, because you need to be confronted with that every single day. You need to be in that position where something, or the drug of choice, which is food in this case, is available, and you need to now make a healthy or conscious choice not to consume certain types of food. So that's just something to keep in mind. So if ever you've struggled with weight loss or healthy living, know that it's not entirely your fault, but it is up to you, unfortunately, to change those habits to be stronger than you are. Now, before we go any further, unfortunately, you need to be strong, and you need to know that it's not going to be an easy journey for you to be healthy. And it's probably not going to take you 7 days. I'm probably going to put up a clickbait logo that says lose weight in 7 days or something like that, but it's not the case. I need you to listen to absorb this information. I need you to realize that it's not going to take 7 days or 30 days in order to go from where you are now to having this absolutely healthy body and body that you desire. But if you think about it, regardless of what age you are, maybe you're 20 years old, maybe you're 40, maybe you're 60, it doesn't matter. But in comparison, let's say it's going to take you a year, and I'm going to get to why I say this, even with the law of attraction. In fact, with actively applying the law of attraction and focusing your mind on a healthy lifestyle, it's still going to take a number of months at least, or maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 years. But in comparison to the past 20 years or 40 years that you've been unhappy about your body, that's such a small period of time that you need to kind of stick it out and do the work. So that's the first thing that I want you to understand, is that it is an absolute addiction. Secondly, I want to talk about why. Because in order for you to lose weight, in order for you to change your body structure, your body type, you need to unfortunately become a completely different person. You cannot remain the same person and just diet or go onto a diet or eat less food or start being active, exercising, and become a different have a different body but still remain the same person mentally. It's just not going to be possible. You need to actively change the person you are today, and the person you are is the person that is in your mind, the way you think. And you need to change that. You need to become a completely different person mentally. And that's the hard part, because your body or your mind will fight you trying to change that, because it knows how to survive. It's learned that you need to operate a certain way. You need to have these certain habits in order to survive every day, because you've done it so many times before. Every single day you get up, you do the same thing. The body or the mind has seen that the outcomes of that is I'm alive and I can carry on to the next day. And that's why it will always fight any attempt to change something of which the mind does not know the outcome, because it hasn't seen a different side. It hasn't seen the outcome of a different habit or habitual behavior, and that's why it will always fight it. So it will be difficult. It will be extremely difficult, and there will be times where you want to quit and you want to give up, but you need to just push through that in order for your conscious mind to show the subconscious that, you know what, I've tried something different, I'm still alive, I've survived this, and it's not life-threatening. And then the subconscious will learn and say, okay, I will accept that as the new normal. And that's inch by inch how you change the person that you are and the way you think and every action you take and your habitual behavior. And that's what's needed. So when it comes to losing weight, first of all, the reason why you are overweight is probably because something in the structure of your day-to-day activities are lacking. As I said, your body seeks the dopamine. it means that something's lacking that's got nothing to do with your weight, that's got nothing to do with your eating habits, but something else is missing. And you need to address that first, because people want to remain in the same job, in the same situation, doing the same things every single day, but they just want to immediately address their health or their weight. And that's the wrong way around. That's the wrong way to go, because the reason being is the reason why you overconsume is not isolated. It's not separate from the rest of your daily life, the rest of your activities every single day. It's actually as a result of what's going on in your life at the moment on a personal level. So that's why, I mean, there are so many studies out there that will prove, or that has proven, that people that are struggling mentally, that are struggling in their lives in a personal capacity, tend to go to drugs or turn to drugs. So it's not somebody that's got, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying in general, that's what the studies have revealed, is that in most cases, if you are going through personal issues, personal struggles, or people, I mean, not everybody, I mean people that are drug users, probably in their lives prior to their drug abuse, they went through some sort of trauma or some personal issue or problem that they couldn't cope with, and then they turned to drugs. So it's not somebody that's completely happy, completely fulfilled, and then just by accident turn to drugs. Something's missing. So in your life, as I said, food is your drug of choice. It's an absolute drug of choice. So you need to realize that the reason why you turn to overeating or eating the wrong stuff and not being active and not changing your lifestyle is because there's something missing. Something's wrong in your personal life, on a personal capacity. So you need to address that. So put the weight and put the healthy lifestyle, put that aside and think to yourself, okay, what do I need to change? Now, in most cases, my advice, it's going to be a long journey to uncover what's been happening. What am I doing wrong? So that's why I said earlier that in order for you to now change, you can remain the same. Just get enough courage to go onto a crash diet and then lose a bunch of weight. But I guarantee you, if nothing else has changed in your life, you will return back to the way you was or the way you were. So you need to put that aside for now and say, you know what, I want to lose weight, I want to become healthy, but I'm going to put that aside, that idea, because that will come as a result of changing the core, changing what's actually holding you back, or that's actually has affected you all this time. So my advice would be slowly but surely to figure out what makes you unhappy. What are you filling up? Or what are you using food to fill up? Or what emptiness are you trying to fill with food, or the wrong types of food that releases that dopamine? So I would suggest that will already take some time to uncover what's happening. But I would suggest start with something small that's completely unrelated with weight or health or whatever. Something like get a hobby, change your lifestyle, change something. Because here's the thing, your body knows exactly what to do, as I mentioned earlier, to get that fix. So it's become such an habitual behavior that every single day, I guarantee you get up in the morning, same way as you did the day before, and when you go out to the grocery store, you go there subconsciously. You already know to which aisles to go, to which shelves to go, what to buy, because your brain knows, it's learned what type of foods to consume in order to give you that fix, in order to make you feel good, so that you can just get through the day. And then the following day, the cycle repeats. It knows you get up in the morning and there's something that's not fulfilling you. Your life's not fulfilled. And therefore, the brain switches on and says, you know what? I need to get fulfilled. I need to feel good so that I can get through the day. And that's why I know exactly where to go. I know exactly what to buy. I know exactly when to eat. I know exactly all of these things. So you need to disrupt that. You need to start focusing and get a goal that, and especially completely separate, or separate from weight or health or whatever. Just get something that disrupts your day-to-day thinking, that you are passionate about maybe, and it might be small. Start with something small. Start with setting a goal. And I'm not talking about being active or going to the gym. I'm talking about something completely unrelated to health. Because at this moment, for the majority of people, if you just think about losing weight, your brain knows that, you know what, I won't be able to survive. I've been through so much trauma, or I've experienced so much loss, or whatever, right? So if you are even consciously thinking of taking away my vices, my food, that's getting me through the day, I'm going to shut that down so quickly, because your brain knows it needs to do that. It needs to protect you, because it needs to survive, it needs to get through the day. So as soon as you start thinking about, maybe I should go to the gym, maybe I should start eating healthy, immediately your body will go into almost a shutdown. You will lose energy, you will lose drive, you will lose motivation, you will lose everything, because the mind, the subconscious mind, knows how to control the body to prevent it from actually taking those actions, because it knows it's going to take away the vices that makes it survive. So don't think about that. Don't think about, maybe I should get a hobby, or like being active or cycling or running. Maybe I should go to the gym. Maybe I should start eating healthy food. Maybe I should make a list of all the healthy ingredients that I'm going to buy, and I'm going to start changing my diet. If you think about that just from the get-go, nothing will change. In fact, it will become worse. And you'll lose all the drive and motivation to actually do that. You might have enough drive to try that for a day or two, but it's going to come crashing down. So choose something completely unrelated that seems like it can lift your mood, lift your spirits, and then start doing that. Focus on that, so that in the morning something changes. Instead of getting up in the morning and doing exactly what you did the day before, get up in the morning and start something new and say, you know what, today I'm going to build a jigsaw puzzle, or I'm going to go visit a friend, or I'm going to do something else. I'm going to set a goal, set something small that you say, I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to change my life, change that, or bring that into my life, so that I can go out and focus on that and get my mind off of the average day-to-day habitual behavior that I've been doing. Because, and you might think to yourself, okay, but that's not productive, because I need to lose weight now. Now you need to understand, yes, as I said earlier, you can do a crash course diet for that event, or that wedding, or that holiday, or whatever the case might be, but it's not going to bring you fulfillment. It's not going to change your life. It's going to take some time, because you need to change something else. You need to change your personality. You need to fill that gap that you've been filling with food first. You need to change your habitual behavior that you've been following every single day. So first of all, do that, and then go for therapy. Try and talk to somebody, or go to a life coach, and try and uncover, why are you doing that? Why are you changing, disrupting your day-to-day habits? Try and uncover why you've been feeling this way, why you feel so demotivated. And in most cases, well, not in most cases, I would say in some cases, it's not that you've had to go through a trauma, that you're trying to fill a void or an emptiness in your life. It's merely a case of loss of direction. You don't have direction. You might have a job every single day, but that's not direction, because it might not be fulfilling you. It might be such a drag and such a torture for you to go to work every day. But for a lot of people, it might be because they don't have enough goals, they don't have enough drive and other things planned in their lives. They lack that motivate or that direction. You need to figure out, maybe you need to abruptly, and I'm not advising this, but on a deeper level, it might help to abruptly quit their jobs. If you are hating your job every single day, what do you think your mind's going to do? It doesn't get that fulfillment. It doesn't get that drive, motivation. It needs to get that from somewhere, and that's why it might turn to food. It might turn to sugars and the wrong stuff. So you need to maybe abruptly quit your job and start doing something that you love, something that's going to challenge you, something that's going to bring out fear in you almost, so that you know what, I don't have time. Then your mind goes to, I don't have time to focus on food now because I've got this other problems that I need to figure out. I need to now solve problems in order to get my life back on track, or in order to survive. So then you disrupt the comfort zone that you are in, because now it's comfortable. Even though you might not like your job or like your partner or like whatever is now currently happening in your life, it's a comfort zone because you've done it so many times. You know exactly what to expect. Nothing will change, and you keep on doing that. But you need to disrupt that. And as soon as you start disrupting that, your need to now just sit around, do nothing, and wait for the next quick fix dopamine hit is going to go away. So you need to fill your day with activities that's going to challenge you. So you need to challenge yourself. You need to challenge your mind. Every single day almost needs to be tough. It needs to be hard. You need to get home or finish after a day of hustling. I'm not saying do 10 jobs. I'm saying even if it's something that's not bringing in any money, right? It's got nothing to do with hard work at a job or generating money. It's got to do with keeping yourself active, keeping yourself busy with things that occupies your mind and your energy levels to such an extent where at the end of the day, you just want to relax. You just want to literally do nothing. You don't even think about food. You don't even think about the next hit of dopamine. You just want to shut down, because you know the next day when you get up, it's all go for the entire day. So you need to fill your days. A lot of people that turn to vices that are excessive, like smoking, are people that's got too much time on their hands. Unfortunately, it's a hard truth. It's hard to say, and a lot of people will disagree, and a lot of people will say, yeah, but I've got a full-time job, or I'm working 2 jobs, or I don't have time for this and that. So it's not true. It is absolutely true, because you can be at a job and still not be effective or efficient, still not use your brain actually, or basically underuse your brain for the majority of the time that you are there. Because you need to be so tired, you need to be so exhausted after every day of hustling. I'm not saying physically, I'm saying, well, whether it's physically or mentally, but you need to absolutely hustle. People that are extremely active mentally even, or even if it's only mentally, they tend to sometimes lose a lot of weight, more than what is actually healthy, because they don't have time to eat. They don't have time for these vices to kick in, or to activate their minds to seek that, because they are so consumed with 10 different activities or 100 activities every single day, so much stress, and good stress for that matter, that they put on themselves. So I'm going off on a bit of a rant here, but you need to forget about focusing on the direct approach, the direct result of I want to lose weight. You need to first figure out in your life what is lacking, why you have too much time on your hands. You need to get out there and get active, and I'm not saying get active in the sense of exercise. I'm saying get active even if it's just with your mind, that you overexert almost your mental capacity every single day, so that there is no time for your brain to switch on to say, you know what, I'm so unhappy, I'm so bored almost, that I want to fix that, because now I lack dopamine. I don't have something to look forward to. I don't have some goal that I need to, even if it's not something that's nice. That's why I say, even if it's hard work, even if it's you hustling and working 2 jobs or 3 jobs or whatever the case might be, it doesn't always need to be something that you enjoy. But you need to have that responsibility. You need to put responsibility onto yourself to say, you know what, I've now started this, even if it's going back to university and studying for something or whatever the case might be, but something that will occupy your mind so much that you don't have time to sit around and be bored and think about the next fix. So, and this is just an example, and I know I'm going to get maybe a lot of negative comments about this or disagreement about this. Now, first of all, just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a professor, I'm not nothing, right? So this is just my pure observation from a personal opinion. If you look at, in my country, areas of the more affluent areas and the poorer areas, if you can make that distinction. As much as nobody wants to make that distinction, it's an absolute truth. It's a reality that you get areas that are that's got more wealthy people than others. Now, if I take a drive through the poorer areas, almost every second person is smoking. That's a vice. Why? What's the correlation between that? Why is it that the more affluent areas, the more wealthy areas, you hardly see any person smoking? You see people running, you see people jogging, going to the gym, being active, but you don't see that many smokers as in the poorer areas. Why is that? It's science. It's literally because, what's the correlation? It's because the people in the poorer areas, it's not because they're smoking that they don't have money. It's because of their lifestyle, their overall lifestyle. They've got too much time, and that's why their mind seeks those vices in order to get that dopamine release. So it almost captivates them and keeps them from actually going out and doing something productive that's going to improve their lives. Now, this is the chicken and the egg effect. Is it that because they are smoking, they get that cheap dopamine fix, so they don't have then the need or the drive to go out and make more money or do something active to improve their lives or improve their household, their homes, or whatever? Or is it because they don't have that, their mind goes, well, I'm bored, I need to find that fix because I need that in order to survive, to get through the day, and that's why they turn to either alcohol or smoking or any of these vices. So that's an absolute fact from my observation. No study has been done by me, but that's what I've observed. So that should tell you that there's a correlation between overeating, consuming too much food, and having too much time on your hands. It sounds like something that maybe Andrew Tate will say, but it's an absolute truth. I mean, as hard as it is to hear, you've got too much time on your hands. So you need to start getting active, even if it's only mentally, but start doing something to get your mind off of the fact that it needs that dopamine fix or some cheap dopamine fix. Because even if you do hard things, that will give you the same amount of dopamine that the food will. So that's when it comes to losing weight and manifestation or manifesting. You might think, but what has that got to do with manifestation, visualization? It's got everything to do with it, because people want to just not change anything about the way they think. They just want to visualize some body type or shape and then magically hope that it's going to appear. Visualization is changing your habits, changing the person you are, changing the way you think, changing everything about your entire personality. That is manifestation. If I think to myself, I want to become a pro athlete, I cannot just put a picture of a pro athlete on a vision board and hope that somebody's going to give me a call. I need to think to myself, what does a pro athlete do? That's why a lot of people will always say, and that's the smart people that will actually say this. They will say, instead of just visualizing the pro athlete or visualizing the goal, go to people who's already achieved that, and see what they do, see how they think, see how they act, everything, and mimic that, because that is changing who you are. That is changing entirely your personality. Even if it's got nothing to do in your mind with losing weight or being healthy. But look at people that are healthy. As I just gave that example, where people that are in the wealthy areas, they don't smoke. Now you might say to yourself, well, what has smoking got to do with money? It's got everything to do with it. Because if you don't give your body that cheap dopamine fix, it's got more time, and here's what's going to happen. Naturally, your body's going to go, well, I can't smoke or I can't eat, so I need to get that dopamine. So where else can I get the dopamine? Now, there's no point in replacing that cheap dopamine fix from the sugars with another addiction like scrolling on social media. But if that's the case, it might get you to your goal of losing weight or being healthy. Sure, it might do that, but you need to take away most of the vices so that you've got more time, so that your mind will go, well, okay, I need this, I'm addicted, I need to find other ways. And then it's going to start doing certain things that are harder. And once you start doing harder things and you achieve that and you get that dopamine fix, the body then realizes that, hang on, I actually feel good about this. It releases an enormous amount of dopamine. So then it sets you up for the next difficult or hard thing to do. And then you do that and it becomes easier. But every time it becomes easier, your body will naturally start seeking the next thing that's even more difficult and harder for you to achieve. And that's how you build your life. That's why a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying a lot of people that are healthy in their bodies, that's got a healthy body, will also have a healthy financial status. It goes hand in hand. The two goes hand in hand. So if you want to make more money, start getting healthy. If you want to get healthy, start making more money, or start being active, start helping other people, but start giving more, start putting yourself out there. Stop sitting around doing nothing. So in short, manifestation is changing who you are. Manifestation is not visualizing a certain goal. Yes, in certain cases where there are no other things that are affecting your ability. But in most cases, when people desperately want something that they've always wanted, they've wanted it for a number of years, it always seems like it's eluding them. The reason in most cases is because there are some deeply or deeper rooted problem that they need to address first. It's not as simple as just visualizing the goal and reaching it. So you need to really go deep. And as I said earlier, in order to lose weight, if you're looking at a specific body type and you want to reach that, if you want to get that, gain that, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a manifestation magic technique and you just, think for yourself. What needs to happen for your body to transform from where you are now? Let's say you are 30 or 50 pounds or 100 pounds overweight. In order for you to lose weight, it sounds easy, like, okay, I'm going to eat nothing for the next month and then I'm going to have the body type that I want. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be happy. You might lose a few pounds, but you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy with the result, and it's not going to last. So if you want lasting change, the law of attraction is changing who you are. The person that got you there in the first place is basically the person that needs to get out the door. So you need to change everything about yourself, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act. And for that reason, as I said earlier, it's going to take time. And you need to be willing to put in the time. But again, maybe it took you 40 years to get to where you are now, 35 years or 20 years or 60 years. So what is another year? Waiting another year to get the type of body that you want or the type of personality that will get you the body that you actually want. It's nothing comparatively. So instead of just taking the easy route and jumping on the next weight loss tablet, say to yourself, listen, I'm going to really make this. This time around going to take a different approach. I'm truly going to manifest a different person. And the way you do that is by addressing the issues that are currently in your life at the moment. Those issues are, you've got no drive, you've got no motivation, you are not fulfilled. You're just trying to get through the day so that you can wake up the following morning and do the same. So you need to disrupt that. You need to abruptly disrupt that. And that will be tough. As I always say, my techniques, the things that I say for people to do is not going to be easy. Joe Dispenza always talk about the river of change and how difficult it's going to be. That's an understatement. It's going to be super tough. It's going to be super hard. But how desperate are you to actually change your life once and for all? So you've got too much time. You've got no motivation, no drive, as I said. So you need to change that. You need to actively include yourself or involve yourself in things that will take every ounce of energy out of you, that will get you up in the morning and get you not motivated in a good way, maybe in a good way, that will be a bonus. But even if it's motivation in a bad way, like, listen, I need to do this because I committed to this and I don't want to do it, but I need to do it anyway. And it needs to be tough, it needs to be hard. And once you do the hard things, you start getting confident. Your confidence will increase because now you see, wow, I can actually do harder things than I thought possible. So, and that's in your mind, it's going to have nothing to do with your weight or the actual problem, but that's where you need to start. And then the health will subsequently or subconsciously follow, because now all of a sudden you don't have time to overeat, you don't have time to consume so much sugar. And by disrupting the rest of your life, you are disrupting every single habitual behavior and pattern, lifestyle pattern, and that includes your purchasing, your food buying habits. And in time, once you've overcome that, once you've basically disrupted and changed the structure of your day-to-day activities, then you can move on to say, you know what, I'm going to now, in order to keep up with the demand of my lifestyle at the moment, I need to be healthy, I need to have more energy, I need to feel better. But then you've overcome so much obstacles, or so many obstacles and so much almost adversity that it's going to feel so much easier to make that conscious decision to change your spending habits, your eating habits, in order to slowly but surely start living an active lifestyle. Just something else. When you want to actually tackle your health and your activity or your level of activity directly, I would suggest to start with just changing the structure of your life in general. But if you want to go that route, then what I've discovered is that if you need to find that sweet spot in order to be active or have a healthy lifestyle. If you live with somebody that's super unhealthy, that's going to be super hard. So you need to then almost not get a divorce, but separate mentally from them and say, you know what, I've been buying the food for both of us. Let's say you're in a relationship and you say, you know what, I've been buying the food for both of us. We've been eating the same. You're unhealthy, I'm unhealthy. And instead of just continuing down that route, you need to say, you know what, listen, don't try and get them to be healthy. It's not gonna happen if they don't want to. But you need to then almost separate, not get a divorce or leave that person. I'm just saying, when it comes to your eating habits or your lifestyle, your health, separate from that person. Say, you know what, you're on your own. You need to cook your own food from now on. I'm focused on myself. I want to be happy or healthy. And I'm now you're on your own for now. For the next year or 2 or 3 even, you're on your own. So if you want to buy unhealthy stuff, that's on your account. Just go do that. But I'm going to now change my life. And it's all about setting yourself up. So for me, for a long time, I've been struggling to be active because it just didn't fit into my schedule. It just didn't. My energy levels just didn't allow to get up every morning at 5 o'clock and to go to the gym. Right, I didn't keep it up. But now I found what works for me, and that is I have a personal trainer certain days of the week. Which is for to train in the mornings, but I only go, so myself and my wife alternate every second day. So I don't get up every single day at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock to go train, because that's not, in my case, that's not sustainable, because it tires you out. It just gets too much. So every single day, me and my wife, we alternate. So one day I will go in the morning, get up at 4 o'clock, and then the next, and she will go that afternoon to gym, and the next day she will get up at 4 o'clock, and then I will go the afternoon. So we alternate, and that means that we train quite a few days of the week, every single week, but you only get up at 4 o'clock like 2 days of the week. So it's not that hard. So we had to get this into this rhythm that actually works for us. So that's just a side note. That's a side benefit. But you need to structure your life differently. That's the ultimate. And you need to know that it's going to take a long time, a lot of sacrifice, and then you might get the result. So if you need more help to analyze your lifestyle, to analyze what you've been doing wrong, because for a lot of people, it's so difficult, for most of us, it's so difficult to look at our own lives and look at what we are doing wrong. So if you need a soundboard almost to kind of bounce a couple of ideas with, to analyze your life and see where's the easiest way to start, then you can always contact me. Send me, again, a WhatsApp, a mail. Click the link below in the description, and you can always make contact with me and schedule a one-on-one session with me, and I can see if I can help you out. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.